Hi, it's me Leo, back again with another video. In this video I'm stood in front of my Mitsubishi Colt and we're unfortunately going to be saying goodbye to this car very shortly, and I'll explain why. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have hit 1,000 subscribers, which is amazing. We're just growing this channel. Let's try and aim for 20 likes on this video, see how high we can get. So yeah, this is going to be a kind of a quick car update video because for the last week I've had night shifts and this weekend I've kind of just had to flip my sleep. I've been very tired, haven't really had any time to make any videos, and then I'm working again next weekend, so I've got just a lot of work to do. So in the next few weeks I'm going to be working a lot of shifts, so I don't know how many YouTube videos I'll be able to put out, but I'm going to try and squeeze one in before it gets dark, because it's the English winter now and it's like 4 o'clock and it's going to get dark in like 45 minutes. So the question is, why am I stood in front of my Mitsubishi Colt? So this is my Mitsubishi Colt right here, if it's going to focus. You've probably seen this car in a number of different videos, but I've been using this car as my daily driver for the past 2 years. Here it is, the Mitsubishi Colt. It's a little bit dirty, but who cares? Yes, it's the Mitsubishi Colt 1.1 litre CZ1. An absolutely amazing first car. Because when I bought this car was my daily at university, so I was doing kind of occasional short trips to the shops and placement, which would never be more than about 10 minutes away. So that's why I bought this car and what it's been used for. But I recently started a new job working as a doctor in Derriford Hospital. So I spend about 2 hours a day commuting to and from work, which is about 60 miles. And this car just isn't quite doing it for me. And one is because it's a very basic car. It's comfortable enough for short trips, but it's not anything special. The other thing was the engine. So this has a 1 litre engine, which is fairly economical, but the roads that I'm driving on, they're all A roads and there's a lot of hills. And I have to push this engine quite hard to actually maintain a decent speed. And when you push a 1 litre engine, it tends to drink more fuel than you kind of would expect. This is, and another one's a controversial one. It's got a manual gearbox. I absolutely love manual gearboxes, but just with that much driving, I was maybe starting to hate manual gearboxes, which is something I do not want to happen because I love manual gearboxes. If you enjoy driving, definitely get a manual gearbox, but I was spending a lot of time in traffic, and in traffic manual gearboxes are just not that fun, and I was looking for kind of a car that would make my trip to and from work a lot easier. So I basically got to a point where my car failed a few items on MOT and I needed to reinsure it, and instead of kind of paying all that, well, I ended up getting the car fixed anyway, but instead of renewing the insurance, I was like, this would probably be a good time to try and find a new car. So the question is, what car did I go with? So I had a look on Auto Trader for different cars to kind of see what was available, and I was looking for something with an automatic gearbox that was preferably diesel or electric. The requirements were that it would be more comfortable and also be fairly economical because I'm driving so far each day. So I realised there are a lot of cars that I really want to own at some point in my life, and I always thought my next car would be a Subaru Impreza, this car here. You probably know this car from like Baby Driver. I love this car as the 4-cylinder Boxster engine. I always thought this would be my next car, but just kind of looking into this car, it looks like a really good car, but it probably isn't the right car for me at this point in my life, because I need this to be kind of my daily, and I know that car probably would have similar issues to this, as it's a manual and probably not the most comfortable car to be driving in. So the question is, what car have I gone and bought? Unfortunately, I've not actually had time to clean the car because I've been using it all week on my night shifts, and it is just parked outside. So this BMW 1 Series has actually inspired my choice of car, so it is a BMW. What car have I gone with? So I have gone with this. If my camera's even going to focus. A BMW 430D. So it is technically it's the last generation body shape, but it still looks pretty cool. And it is covered in mud just from kind of the environment that I live in. Look where I have to park it. Look at the roads. So basically it's a BMW 4 Series I picked up last weekend, and I've enjoyed it so far actually. I've probably put on about 500 or 600 miles on it so far. It comes with the M Performance body kit. As well, the guy that I bought it from had put it on. So it's got the spoiler. He's actually debadged it, which I'm not a massive fan of, so I am going to be buying a 430D badge. I don't think a 430D is anything to be ashamed of. You should just have that badge because it's a big engine that this car's got. It's got the 2 exhaust pipes. Yeah, it's got the front splitter, which I'm not used to driving with it, so it has been a few occasions where I've kind of scraped it, but at the end of the day, this is you can replace these. Pointy wing mirrors, which is very cool. Yeah, overall it's quite a nice car. It's got quite a nice rear diffuser, so I don't think this is standard. I think this has been put on as part of a body kit. So I'm going to be doing a full in-depth video on this car at some point when I've got more time. This is the key. It's very nice. It's got a metal case. Okie dokie, let's go inside and have a look at what we have in here. Yeah, so it is a 4 Series, so it is only a 3-door car, or 2-door, because that's not even a door, it's not a hatchback. Cool thing about the 4 Series is it has a rimless bit of glass here, so I don't know, it just looks more sporty. Yeah, so as you can see it's pretty filthy down there, but we're going to ignore that just while we have a quick look around this car. Let's just have a look at what spec. So it is the M Performance spec, so it has the kind of nice squishy leather steering wheel. So we just started the car. We've got some cool features in this car that I'm pretty happy with. So we've got the 10-inch infotainment screens, and then we've got dual zone climate control, heated seats. So the passenger and driver seats are heated, which is a really nice feature in England where it's really cold most of the time. Well, this is one of the main reasons I got this car, because it's just so much easier to drive. So it doesn't have a clutch pedal for anyone. So in the UK, so for those of you who don't know, in the UK having a manual car is kind of more common than having automatic, but I just wanted an automatic just for the commute. So you can put it into semi-auto and use these flappy paddles to change the gears, so there's one on each side, which is really cool. But yeah, I tend to just leave it in auto. Also, like most other BMWs, it has a drive mode selector, so you can put it in Eco, Comfort, Sports and Sports Plus. And yep, the mode will change on the screen. Yeah, just depending on what mode you want to drive in. Yeah, I just want to say I'm pretty happy with the spec of this car. So I got the black leather seats. I've got some paperwork behind me, so I don't really want to show that. But it's one compromise of going to this car over some of the other cars is this is a 4-seat car, so you can't have anyone really in the middle. And I'm going to quickly show you underneath the bonnet. There we go. It's not been cleaned, but here we go. So what have we got here? So it's one of the reasons I chose this car is the engine. This has a 6-cylinder 3-litre diesel engine with a turbocharger. This drives the rear wheels only, so it's not a 4-wheel drive, it's not an X-drive car, this is just a rear wheel drive only car. But yeah, it's a pretty decent engine and it's quite economical for how much power it produces. So I mean, on my commute I'm probably getting about 45 miles to the gallon realistically, but on a motorway, if you slap the car in eco, you can get about 50 miles to the gallon. And for a car that is 3 litres and produces 260 brake horsepower, this thing produces 560 newton meters of torque, and it's not even been modded. So yeah, getting close to 50 miles to the gallon is pretty good. Cool, so we're in the car, we're going to just take it for a little drive. Yeah, pop it in reverse and you can see, I'm just going to try and get out of these horrible little lanes as quick as I can because these are also really boring to drive in. Alright, yeah, so you can kind of see, this also has front and rear parking sensors, which is quite handy actually because this is a lot larger than the car that I'm used to driving. It's got electrically I can't even speak today. This has got electrically adjustable seats, which is another really nice feature. So you can kind of see outside, this is the sort of road that I have to drive over every single day. So I was kind of a little bit skeptical about getting a car that's so low down and so large, because in summer there's just gonna be so much foliage hitting the side of my car, so I'm gonna have to be very careful. I was quite happy just driving it like a normal speed down these roads on my old car, but I really don't want to hit anything. I mean, now would be quite a good time to just have a quick chat about the specs. So as I've mentioned, this has an inline 6 diesel engine that is 3 litres. This car outputs 260 brake horsepower to the rear wheels. This car will happily drive at around 1,500 RPM just anywhere, which is quite cool. But I think, yeah, if the front splitter becomes too much of an issue, just kind of rubbing on stuff, I might just take it off and run this car without a front splitter, because it's probably the part of the M Performance body kit that I'm just not that fussed about. There we go, got to let out. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so this is a 50 mile an hour, so we're just going to go up to speed now. Yeah, you see, I mean, one issue with the diesel is it doesn't sound quite as nice as the petrol, and that is the case when you're kind of going at normal speeds. But when you do put your foot down, there is a bit of kind of a rumble from the engine, because at the end of the day it is a 6-cylinder, so it is going to sound a bit more fruity than a 4-cylinder. Yeah, this car really in sport mode just picks up really quickly. I think it does about 5-second 0 to 60, which is fairly quick. This is definitely the quickest car I've ever driven. Yeah, this car definitely has the ability to push you back in your seat, which is something I was looking for when I was buying a car. So one thing to note, this is not an X-Drive car, it's only a rear-wheel drive BMW. And when the roads are slightly wet, you will find that the traction control kicks in. So you won't be accelerating quite as quick as if it was a completely dry road, which is, I mean, it's not an issue. You're still a fairly quick car in the wet conditions. The handling on this car is really nice as well. It's an electrical, it's not a hydraulic steering like some of the older BMWs, and I think my old car was hydraulic as well. This is electric, but so I thought it would feel a bit crap actually, but they've actually done quite a good job. And it's quite amazing how different the car feels in sport mode. The steering is really weighty in sport mode, but as soon as you let's try and accelerate up to 50. Yeah, there we go. Just, you see, it just goes right up to speed really quickly. And we've just dropped the Audi behind us. Yeah, and what was I saying about the steering? The steering is good because in sport mode it's a very heavy kind of steering, which is what you want. It makes the car feel more sporty, and as soon as you put it down into comfort or eco, the steering becomes really, really light, which is maybe what you're after. So one thing I do like about the spec of BMW that I chose is it's got the Harman & Kardon sound system. So it's got the upgraded sound system over the standard car. Let's go back into sport and yeah, just up to 60. Yeah, this car just goes right up to 60. Right, I don't know if this picks it up. Right, I'm just going to do the windows down a little bit. But does it pick up the so I'm going to accelerate, but this is a national speed limit road and I'm just going to accelerate. Yeah, this car just has so much power. So anyway, I will do a full video on this car when I have a bit more time and I've completely cleaned the car. But in the meantime, I just wanted to kind of show off my new car just as kind of an update video. So hopefully everyone enjoyed, and if you've got any questions about this car, be sure to leave them in the comment section and I'll get around to answering them. And yeah, don't forget to drop a like, and if you did enjoy, oh, it's not even this way, is it? It wants me to go this way. Yeah, and if you did enjoy, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see everyone in my next video.